Okay, so if we take x to the 7th over x to the 5th, how do we simplify that?
Well, what we're going to do is,
Yes, good. Let's see if that works. We subtract the exponent, what would we get? X squared. So let's try putting 7x's on the top. And then 5 on the bottom. And then we can cancel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pairs, and we'd be left with squared. So it works, didn't it?
oh my.
We took 7 minus 5. Subtracting. All the simplifications are the same. So when dividing monomial, let's see if it works here. What would this be if we subtract them?
-1.
X to the -1. Now we want to write that as a positive exponent.
-1 over 1.
So how do we write that as a positive exponent? So 1, 2, 3 x's. 1, 2, 3, 4 x's. 3 pairs cancel. When I cancel them, the number that's left is really what number? 1. So this is like a 1 over x. So this x to the -1 is the same thing as 1 over x. So when we have that negative exponent, all we did is we moved it down to the bottom and it becomes positive. This is not new information. This is from before, but I knew you would need to review. That's why we're doing it again. Did this negative exponent?
Oh,
No.
no.
Oh, no.
Up the computer's turned off. Up it's back on.
You have to keep going, turning back. If it keeps doing that, I don't know what else to do. Okay, so
Come up the exponents.
So when dividing monomials, when dividing monomials, you can do what with the exponents? What do we just do with the exponents? Subtract. So you can always subtract the exponents when you're dividing. So a negative exponent, does it make the expression negative? Yes or no?
Yes. I don't know. No.
So this x to the -1, did it make this expression negative here?
No.
No, it does not. Very common mistake. Students want to say that it makes it negative. What is x to the 0 equal to?
0. 1. 1.
We talked about this before. It is equal to 1. And I'll show you something about why that is in a moment. Okay, let's do x to the 2nd over x to the 7th. If we subtract the exponents, we get x to the -5, which we can rewrite as
5 over x. No, 1 over x.
so x is on the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the bottom. 1, 2 pairs cancels. This is 1 over x to the 5th. So that negative exponent, we just move it down to the bottom, and then we take the negative away. And we don't want negative exponents. We always want to change them to positive.
Oh, x third over x third is more.
Okay, so if we did x to the 3rd over x to the 3rd, what is that?
1.
That's equal to 1. So we know it's 1 because they're the same. But what if we subtracted the exponents? We would get 3 minus 3, which is 0. So that's why the x to the 0 is 1. You can see it there, showing why we get that. So that's the same as x to the 0. Okay? Okay. We're going to do one example, and I have you do some on your whiteboard for a moment. Okay, so we're simplifying. We want our answers to have positive exponents. So what would we do on number 2? multiplying, right? So what did we do yesterday when we multiplied? Can I get a hand, please? For what did we do yesterday when we were multiplying? That's right, we add those exponents. So when we're multiplying, 4 times -2 gives me -8. And then we add our exponents. -4 plus -4 is -8. Our answer can only have positive exponents. So we need to do what with that x to the -8? We need to change it. How do we change it? How do we rewrite it? Yes. So this -8, does it have a negative exponent? Does -8 have a negative exponent?
No.
What is the exponent on the -8 if there's nothing there? It's assumed to be what number? A 1. This is a 1 here. That exponent is not negative. We leave it where it is. It stays up on the top. So that's -8 over x to the 8th. Okay? Say that again? Yes, your final answer. That's right. Yep. We always want that answer not to have negative exponents. So this negative number did not mean that we moved it down to the bottom. Okay, so for number 3, we have some simplifying to do. So this group back here, tell me how to simplify this. We have an n to the -1 and n squared. What do we do with that? This group back here. Thank you, Bill. Do we add, subtract, or multiply the exponents? You add them. So it would be 5, no other m, so m to the -4th and n to the, this group back here, please. N to the 1. -1 plus 2 is 1. Following so far? Okay, so now we want to rewrite this with positive exponents. So we want to rewrite this and do what with that m to the -4? Put it down on the bottom. So on the top, we have the 5 and the n, and the m to the 4th goes down on the bottom. Because of the negative exponents. We always move it down to the bottom if it's negative. So we talked about it before. We just showed that whenever that's a negative exponent, it's 1 over. So that's what the negative exponent means. Doesn't mean it's a negative number. It means that it's 1 over that. Okay, so what I want you to do is on your whiteboard, simplify this one. The one on the left. Oh my.
This is not pink, this is purple.
Rewriting that with positive exponents. Don't get one from up there. No, it's not. No, those are not markers. I want you to do this problem first. All you did was rewrite it. It's very, very quick. So, honey, what do you do with that negative exponent? What did you learn from what we did? On the bottom.
So this is -2 to the
Like, I
3rd.
literally was sitting here and then like this one, so I had to get it.
Is that right? -2 to n to the 3rd.
Is that over in line?
No.
That's what it says on it.
You said you could go, right? Where you charging? She said you can go.
Oh, she did?
Yes. Did you just
Okay, so your answer answer should be 3y7 over x to the 5th. Okay, on to the next one in the notes. Questions on that before we move on? Did you have a question? Okay, so to that. Okay, so on this one here, I'm going to skip to number 5. No, let's go ahead and do number 4. So number 4, we have an exponent to an exponent. So this group here, tell me what we do when we have an exponent to an exponent. Say in words how this simplifies, this part simplifies. Because we got to simplify that first, right? Because it's got an exponent.
Yeah.
So we do something with the 2. It's 2 to the, yes, 2 to the negative 3. And then what do we do with the exponents when we're times them? So it becomes x to the 12 and y to the positive 12 or negative 12? Negative 12. Okay, so now we just want to bring our terms together. So we have a 2 to the negative 3, and then x to the 12th and x to the negative 4th. What does that become? The same, let's see, that group back there. What does that become when we add those? Take x to 12 and x to negative 4. What does it become? So what does it become? What do we do with those exponents? Yes, x to the 8th. We add them. So x to the 8th, and then y to the same group. Y to the you got a negative 12 and you got a 1. Oh.
Negative 11.
Negative 11. Oh. Okay, so now we want to take care of those negative exponents. So we're going to write it as 1 over 2 to the 3rd. Where does the x to the 8th go? Does it stay on the top or the bottom?
On the bottom.
The x to the 8th, that exponent is positive. It stays on the top. And then the y to the negative 11th, what do we do with that? Bring it down to the bottom. 2y11. So this would be x to the 8th over 8y11. And that's your answer. Okay, so okay, let's do. I'm going to have you do number 5. Go ahead and do number 5 here on your own. That's your you try. Go ahead and do number 5. You're doing number 5.
This would be 4x. 4x.
On your paper, I want you doing number 5. No. No.
I just no reason. So you do actually get
No, yeah, no, I remember. Don't put your paper up.
was typing for Andrew.
Okay, this is what your answer should be. 16y to the 6 over x squared. Let's do one with some division. One or two, and that will be it. Okay, moving on. Okay, so on number 7, we've got some division here. What did we say we could do when we're dividing? Subtract them. So this group here, the 3 and the 4 stay where they are. We can't do any simplifying with that. And then if we subtract our exponents, we get u to the 4 minus -3. Yeah, you just have to be careful, I know, because of the negatives. U to the 7th. And then v to the 2 minus -2. Yep, v to the 4th. So do we need to move anything? No. So we just subtracted. Remember, you can subtract the exponents when you're dividing. So you could have done this problem differently if you wanted to. You could have taken the ones on the negative on the bottom. Anybody know what I do with that if I want to get rid of that negative that's on the bottom? So this really represents, when I have this, it's 3u to the 4th v squared over 4 times 1 over u to the 3rd times 1 over v squared, right? So where do these go then? Where do they end up going? They end up going on the top, because if I multiply top and bottom by the u to the 3rd v squared, they go up to the top. So really it's 3u to the 4th times u cubed times v squared again. So if you want, you can do it that way. You end up getting that same answer as this one over here. All I did was I rewrote this with the negative exponents. I just moved them up to the top. So if I want to get rid of those negatives, I can move them up to the top. I just showed you 2 different ways to do it. Okay, we're going to stop here.